All right, so you know how this works, right? You give us the sources, we deep dive into them and pull out those nuggets of knowledge.
Exactly. Today, we're diving into a 6-month plan for financial transformation. It's based on millionaire Noelle Randall's YouTube video.
Oh yeah, her story is amazing. She went from being broke, living in her parents' basement, to, building real wealth.
And her belief is you can change your finances in just 6 months.
6 months, huh? Well, our listeners are definitely looking for those aha moments. They want that spark, that change.
And what's so great about Randall's approach is it's her story. This isn't just some theory, it's a real roadmap from someone who has been there.
Exactly, from hardship to success. So we're breaking down this 6-month plan, step by step, month by month.
Focusing on actions you can take and those bigger principles behind them.
Absolutely. And we want to make this clear and useful for everyone listening, no matter where you are right now in your financial journey.
Totally.
Okay, let's jump into month one.
All right, month one.
It's all about setting the foundation. Randall really focuses on two things:
Okay, I'm listening.
your mindset and getting a clear picture of your finances right now.
Got it. Makes sense.
And the first step she emphasizes is identifying your core expenses, the absolute essentials.
Essentials, okay. Like what?
Think rent or mortgage, insurance, groceries, healthcare, utilities, the must-haves.
Right, those non-negotiables, that makes sense.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Randall talks about this idea of the monster under the bed.
Oh, I like where this is going.
When our finances are uncertain, we sometimes just avoid looking at them altogether. It's like that scary thing we don't want to face.
Totally, it can be super uncomfortable.
But Randall's point, and she's right, is to get where you want to be, you got to know where you're starting.
Yeah, that's so true. Like you wouldn't start a road trip without knowing where you are on the map, right?
Exactly. Face the numbers, even if it's not pretty. It's like peeking under the bed and realizing, oh, there's nothing to be scared of.
I love that analogy.
So you've identified those core expenses, you've got a total. Next is your net income, the money that hits your bank account after taxes, deductions, all that.
Right. After everything's taken out, what's actually left?
For most folks with jobs, it's on your paycheck, easy peasy.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
If you're self-employed, you'll need to dig a little deeper into your bank statements and accounting.
A little more work there.
But the key takeaway for month one is that baseline.
Yeah, that's solid starting point.
What are your must-spend each month, and what's your consistent income?
Got it. Know where you stand.
And it's important to note what Randall isn't saying here.
Okay, what you not saying?
Month one isn't about deprivation. It's not about cutting back drastically.
Ah, okay. So no crazy restrictions just yet.
Not yet. It's about clarity, understanding where your money is going,
Yeah.
like taking inventory before you decide what to keep and what to toss.
Makes sense. Get that accurate picture first.
Exactly. Okay, month one, we're getting to know our numbers.
And shifting our mindset.
From avoidance to awareness.
Awareness, yeah.
Now, month two is about taking action. We're eliminating non-essential bills.
Okay, time to cut back.
Now that you know what you must spend, we look at everything else.
Got it. Time for a spending audit.
Randall gives a great example: streaming services. Think about how many you have.
Ooh, yeah, that adds up. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I plead guilty.
All those monthly fees can really make a difference. She also talks about habits like eating out less and those sneaky app subscriptions.
It's so true. Those little things can get you. They seem small, but they add up.
And Randall's perspective is really interesting here. When she was turning her finances around, back in the late 2000s, the app world was so different.
Right, totally different landscape back then.
But the principle is the same. Spending on non-essentials, it just looks different now.
Yeah, different forms, but same idea.
It's those small recurring expenses that seem insignificant on their own, but can really drain your budget.
Death by 1,000 cuts, right.
Exactly. And Randall is clear. These cuts aren't forever. This isn't about living a life of extreme frugality.
So it's not about deprivation.
Nope. Her whole philosophy is aiming for wealth, not just scraping by.
Abundance, not just getting by. I like that.
These eliminations in month two, they're strategic, temporary.
Okay, strategic and temporary. So it's like freeing up cash flow.
Exactly. Free up that cash to fuel those bigger transformations down the line.
Makes sense. So you're basically making space in your budget.
Yes, and mental space too, to focus on those wealth-building strategies.
Okay, so it's not just about the money. It's about being intentional.
Yes, intentional with your spending, prioritizing your long-term financial well-being.
Over those impulse buys and things you don't really need.
You got it. All right, we've looked at our needs, trim the fat. Now, month three. And this is where Randall's advice gets really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
We shift focus to increasing your income.
Increasing income. All right, I'm all ears.
This is a big distinction in her approach. She's not just saying cut, cut, cut.
Yeah, you can only cut back so much.
Exactly. She disagrees with that. She believes you can't just save your way to wealth.
So you have to earn more.
You have to find ways to earn more. Month 3 is about boosting your earning potential.
Okay, love it. Make more money.
And she lays out several strategies.
All right, let's hear them. What are we talking about?
First up, consider a job switch. She says, based on her own experience, that switching companies often gets you a bigger raise than internal promotions.
That's interesting. So moving on could be better than moving up.
Often, yes. She emphasizes you have more leverage to negotiate when you're coming in from outside.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. A new company, a fresh start.
Exactly. It's about understanding your market value and being willing to explore those opportunities.
Yeah, not being afraid to see what else is out there.
Then she talks about something that a lot of people don't consider: monetizing your hobbies and skills.
Ah, so turning those passions into profits.
Think about the things you're good at.
Okay, like what kind of things?
Maybe you're creative, like painting, crafting, or maybe you're great at braiding hair, doing yard work, even photography.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It's about shifting your mindset from just hobbies to potential income streams.
Right.
And today, with so many online platforms and marketplaces, it's easier than ever to connect with people willing to pay for your skills.
Yeah, there's a market for almost anything these days.
And this leads naturally into her big recommendation.
Yeah.
Start your own business.
Starting a business.
Now we're talking.
She's a big advocate for setting up a formal legal entity.
Okay, so like an LLC.
An LLC, exactly. Limited liability company. It offers liability protection, which is crucial. Also, S Corp and C Corp. Those have different tax implications that might be important as your business grows.
Right, makes sense to think about the structure.
Randall actually started her own LLC while she still had a full-time job. Eventually, that business grew to match and then surpass her corporate income.
Wow, so she's speaking from experience here.
Big time. And she even lays out some initial steps for anyone who is considering this path. Okay, what are those first steps?
Get a professional website, register your business with the Secretary of State, obtain an EIN.
EI.
That's your employer identification number, basically a social security number for your business. You can get that from the IRS website, irs.gov.
Got it, irs.gov.
And of course, you'll want to open a separate business checking account.
Right, keep things separate and organized.
She also points out some cool advantages to having a formal business.
Like what?
You can build business credit. It's like a credit score for your business, separate from your personal credit. Helps you get loans and other financial products later on.
Oh, that's smart. So you're building a financial foundation for your business.
Exactly. And then there's accessing business funding. Often, you can get funding based on just a few months of consistent activity in your business bank account. You might even be able to secure funding in the business's name without relying directly on your personal Social Security number.
Oh, wow. So there are options for getting the capital you need.
There are definitely options. Now, she does address those doubts that people might have about starting a business.
Yeah, it can be a bit daunting.
She points out that even teenagers are successfully starting businesses these days.
Wow, if they can do it.
Right. She emphasizes that you likely have more valuable skills than you realize. She even admits she used to underestimate her own potential.
It's about believing in yourself.
Exactly. So, month 3 is about making that proactive decision to increase your income. You have the power to change your financial trajectory by focusing on earning more.
Taking control, being proactive.
Through a better job, monetizing skills, or yes, even starting that business.
Love it. All right, so we've looked at our core needs, cut the non-essentials, and now we're focused on boosting our income. What's next?
Next up is month 4, which is all about strategically eliminating bad debt.
Okay, time to tackle that debt.
And the timing of this month in the plan is really interesting. Randall doesn't want you to focus heavily on debt right at the beginning.
Oh, why not?
She thinks dwelling on the negative, like how much debt you have, can hurt your mindset and motivation early on.
That makes sense. Stay positive in those first few months.
By prioritizing income growth first, you'll be in a stronger position to tackle debt later.
So come at it from a position of strength.
Exactly. And when she talks about bad debt, she's mainly talking about those high-interest credit cards and payday loans, the kind of debt that can really drag you down.
Yeah, those are the worst. Those high interest rates can be brutal.
They can really eat into your finances. And she outlines 2 methods for paying it off.
Okay, what are the strategies?
First, Prioritize the debt with the highest interest rate.
Okay, so attack the biggest drain first.
It makes the most sense mathematically. You'll pay the least amount of interest overall.
Logical, makes sense.
The second method is called the snowball method. You pay off the smallest debt first, regardless of the interest rate.
Interesting. So not about the numbers, but more about motivation.
It's about those quick wins, that sense of accomplishment. Seeing a debt disappear completely, even if it's small, can keep you motivated.
Oh, I see. It's like a psychological boost.
And as you knock out those smaller debts, it can actually improve your credit score too.
Oh, right. Fewer outstanding accounts.
Now, speaking of credit scores, she emphasizes managing your credit card balances relative to their limits.
Meaning, how much of your available credit are you using?
Exactly. Ideally, you want to keep that below 30%. This directly impacts your credit score.
Okay, so low utilization equals a better credit score.
That's the goal. And with a good credit score, she suggests looking into balance transfers.
Balance transfers, oh yeah.
Cards with those 0% introductory interest periods. You can consolidate high-interest debt and potentially save a ton of money on interest during that promo period.
Yeah, that can be a huge help.
And she even has an interesting perspective on credit cards.
Oh, tell me more.
Once you've paid them off and are managing them responsibly, they can potentially act as an emergency fund.
Whoa, interesting take. Credit cards as an emergency fund.
The key is to keep a zero balance, so you have that available credit in a true emergency.
But you have to be disciplined, right?
Absolutely. It's not a replacement for cash savings for smaller needs.
Makes sense.
The big point she makes is that by focusing on income growth in month 3, tackling debt in month 4 becomes way easier.
Yeah, more money coming in, it takes the pressure off.
You have more resources to throw at those debts. It's not just about the money. It's about the psychological impact, too.
You feel more in control, less overwhelmed.
Okay, so we've done a lot. Mindset, finances, cut expenses, boosted income, tackled debt. Now month 5, and this is a big one.
I'm ready, hit me.
Month 5 is all about investing in yourself.
Investing in myself. Okay, I like that.
And she's very clear. This comes before investing in things like stocks or crypto.
So focusing on personal growth first.
It's about acquiring income-generating skills.
Okay, so not just investing money, but investing in skills that make money.
You got it. She gives examples from her own journey in real estate. Learning about wholesaling properties, fixing and flipping houses, managing rental properties.
Real estate, that's a great example. So many different ways to make money.
And once you acquire these skills, they can directly increase your income.
Yeah, you're building valuable knowledge and expertise.
Her actionable steps for self-investment are pretty straightforward. Attend relevant classes, go to seminars, participate in industry conferences.
So actively seeking out those learning opportunities.
It's about finding opportunities to gain knowledge in areas that can boost your earning power.
Yeah, constant learning, always growing.
Always be learning. She also really stresses the importance of networking.
Networking, oh yeah, so important.
Putting yourself in environments where you're surrounded by people who are more knowledgeable, more successful than you are.
I get it. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire you.
Exactly. She believes this can foster personal growth, challenge your perspectives, and raise your expectations for yourself.
It's about elevating your game by being around those who are playing at a higher level.
And she sums up this month perfectly. She says, knowledge is power, and the best investment is in yourself.
Couldn't agree more.
It's about building your skills, your knowledge, your experience, your own unique human capital.
Unlike market investments, which can be unpredictable, those are assets that stay with you.
For life. Okay, we've reached the final month of the plan, month 6.
The grand finale. What's month 6 all about?
This is where you set up automation for long-term financial health.
Automation. Okay. Make it all run smoothly in the background.
Solidify all the progress you've made. Make smart money management a habit.
So you don't have to think about it so much.
First key step, automatic payments. Auto pay for everything.
Everything. Seriously.
Core expenses, credit card payments, everything. Even if it's just the minimum on the cards to avoid late fees.
Okay, so no more missed payments.
The goal is to make sure everything is paid on time. Every time.
Yeah, taking away that mental load of remembering all those due dates.
And she stresses automating your savings too. Set up those regular automatic transfers, moving money straight into your savings or investment accounts.
Okay, so paying yourself first automatically. I like that.
Randall actually automates a significant weekly savings contribution, but she emphasizes that her preference is to invest those funds, not just let them sit in cash.
Right, make that money work for you.
Automation reduces errors, missed payments, that mental burden of managing everything manually.
It's like having a personal finance assistant working behind the scenes 24/7.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's talk about some of Randall's overarching principles.
All right, the big picture stuff.
She starts by saying, you have to make the decision that wealth is possible for you.
Yeah, you have to believe it before you can achieve it.
Challenge those limiting beliefs you might have about your own potential.
Because negative thoughts can really hold you back.
And she talks about the power of focus and consistent action, even more than innate intelligence. She shares her own experience in real estate. She didn't think she was the smartest person in the room, but she achieved success through sheer persistence and dedication.
So it's not about being a genius, it's about working smart and staying focused.
Exactly. You pick a path and stick with it even when things get tough.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely. And that leads into her next point. Stay committed to your strategies. Don't constantly change your approach.
Oh yeah, it's easy to get distracted by the next shiny object.
It is. Choose a path, commit to it, and avoid those distractions.
Give it time to work. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
She also mentions her free book and journal.
Oh, tell me about those.
Pick a Horse and the Manifest Journal. You can get them at deals.noellerandall.com. You just cover the shipping.
Okay, and what are those about?
The book helps you focus on your goals, while the journal helps you develop the right mindset for success.
So it's a two-pronged approach. Focus and mindset.
They work together to support the 6-month plan. It's about those internal shifts that are so important for lasting change.
Right. The inner game is just as important as the outer actions.
So here's a final thought. You've got this framework, you're thinking about those principles.
What's the one thing our listeners can do today to start their own deep dive?
What is that one area you will commit to focusing on today to start your journey toward real financial transformation?
It doesn't have to be huge, just one small step in the right direction.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope this breakdown of Noelle Randall's 6-month plan has given you some valuable takeaways.
Our goal is always to distill the information you provide into something practical and useful.
Think about the steps we've discussed. Maybe revisit the original source material for a deeper understanding.
And of course, if you have any sources you'd like us to explore in a future deep dive, send them our way.
Keep learning, keep growing. Because remember, the consistent application of knowledge is how we create real change.
Absolutely.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.